Hello, welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I'm Reese, and today I wanted to discuss death. Something that I think most people have in the back of their minds, or maybe currently experiencing with a loved one or a loved thing. So, what brought this about was last night I experienced my dog passing away. And it's a very interesting unfolding of such a thing because he seems to have contracted a infection that can only be gotten from other dogs, and he's secluded from other dogs. So it's a wonder as to how the impossible was made possible. And your mind can come up with multiple ideas, and none of them are more correct or less correct than the other. But at the same time, when you're thinking about these things, if you can divulge yourself from yourself and realize that what seems to be so impossible is absolutely possible when you realize that the world is being run and spun by the invisible love of source energy and God. It's one and the same. So, even though my dog was secluded for basically 2 years in my house without any other animals, he somehow contracted something that requires other animals to be around. It's quite interesting. And anyway, the unfolding of this is also interesting because during the day, he was fine. He was walking around. He was sick, but he was on medication. And he was walking around. Took him for a walk around the house a couple times to build up his strength because he was sick. And even after I left, the gardener said he was walking around with him. My gardener and him have also known each other throughout his life. And when I came home, he was basically unresponsive. And after a while at the vet, his heart began to just stop. And he was put to sleep. And during this unfolding, you can have various, what I would consider points of attraction or awareness that you become aware of. Like, oh no, you can go down this road, you can go down that road, you can shift into this reality, you can shift into that reality, you can go down. And ultimately, sometimes you get a bit confused as to what really dictates that going forward. It's you. You're the one that dictates it going forward. You can say, no, but I would never say die or go this way or do that or whatever or whatever, whatever. Remember, everyone creates their own reality, even my dog. So when I looked at him lying there and breathing heavy, I realized from my perspective, my forward transitioning in reality, this moment, this moment, this moment, it's the same moment, it's just another perspective of that same moment. You realize that as I am transitioning forward, he is transitioning forward as well. He is transitioning his energy into something more intangible, I would say. So, where am I going with this thought? Good question. You see, this is my understanding of what has happened and what's unfolding. So, as my life, from my perspective, transitions forward, things in my life, and let's just refer to them as old story or previous story or old identity or previous identity or whatever it is, as that transitions out, your new identity transitions in. You see, my dog was from what people would consider, maybe what I'm considering my old life. It's part of the old set of pets that my identity had, and as I go forward, that identity changes, and what is attributed to that identity, what that identity wants to do and have and be and experience, it doesn't necessarily have my dog with me. It doesn't mean my dog left me. It means my dog, in some divine understanding, with some divine understanding, as divine understanding, decided to pass on. As simple as that. My transitioning forward into a different identity in every single moment is the observation of everyone else changing and coalescing around my identity, from my perspective, from my subjective viewpoint. I experienced the same thing with my dad. My dad passed on in COVID. He died in the hospital, during in ICU. His some unfolding. His body started to collapse internally because of his organs were failing, because of multiple things being wrong with him. Blood, blah blah blah. All good. And he passed on. Because my dad passed on, my life changed. Or rather, I decided my life is changing, and all of these things change around me. Now, it can sound very callous, and it can sound very cold, and it can sound very uncaring. It's the opposite. Is that I love my dad very much. I love my dog very much. I still love those things. People, spiritual creations given life and form. I still love them with all my heart. But at the same time, it's what your experience is a declaration of who you are now. You see, with my dad, I was a certain version of myself. Without my dad, or maybe because I was being that person already, things unfolded into the expression of who I am now. As in, I am independent. I am starting my own company. This rewrite your reality expression. That kind of thing. I'm not saying he died so I can do this. I'm saying part of the journey of my life experience is experiencing my dad's passing and me continuously unfolding and leveling up into the person that I was. I didn't say he should die so I can do this. My point is, part of him passing on was part of my experience of passing as. I hope that makes sense. The same with my dog. You see, not to say these are limiting things, but like with a dog, you are limited in your own movements. I mean, you have something to take care of. It's like you're married and you have a family. You can't just up and leave your children. You can, if you want. You can up and leave your children. I'm not advocating for that, because I think that's something very unlike love, but it does happen. You can up and leave your children and just go. Leave your family and just go and do that. But that's not the way I am hardwired. I'm not hardwired in that way, but I mean, I find that to be unlike love. So I wouldn't personally do that. But with a dog, you are somewhat limited, because you're taking care of a wonderful, loving animal which is always taking care of you. And as you have expended that energy and saying, yes, I've expended this energy, I've all the love and experience that I've decided for myself with you, this perfect, wonderful, smiling, joyful, silly, skittish animal that has given me the same, our journey has come to an end in this experience of life. I'm sure it'll continue in other experiences of life, but that is my understanding. As we transition, each and every one of us, everything around us transitions. And you can have thousands of thoughts. How can I be in my desired end? How can I be with the girl that I love or the guy that I love? How can I be worried about this job, about this thing, about traveling, about my rest of my life when this animal in front of me is passed on? I can't manifest anything. I can't manifest my dog getting better. And somehow I'm supposed to manifest the rest of my life being a dream. And those are human thoughts. They're okay. They're perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. I experienced them all last night and some in the morning and whatever. That's why I wanted to make the video in the first place. All of those are good. It's like, how can I do? What do I do? Do I tell people? Do I not tell people? Do I share? The people that I want to talk to me aren't talking to me, or they are talking to me. And you can have a million different things, a million different ways, and a million different reasons as to not do anything. You don't have to do anything. Just go with the flow and be okay. Don't feel guilt. Nothing. No guilt, no remorse, no sadness about anything, about how it's working out right now. Just know it is working out right now, no matter what it looks like. Even in death of a loved one, it's always going to work out for you, your experience. Remember, death doesn't hold back love. Death is love in essence. How can it not be love? How can I look at my dog and say, suffer more so I can enjoy your presence, so I don't have to feel that pain of you passing? You see, it's a very subtle difference. Do I want him to live for my benefit? Or what? I mean, life is for my benefit. My benefit is that I don't want my dog to suffer, not just to be with me. it's a very fine, interesting line to walk, and you don't have to walk it either. You can just say, God, take care of this for me in the best possible way. And for my dog, I believe the best possible way was for him to pass with all of us around and saying goodbye to everybody that mattered to him, because I think that's what he did. He waited, he said goodbye to me, he pulled on the leash that he never did, like, in a long time. Looked at my mom, waited for my sister to come back, and said goodbye to the gardener. So, in all of these wonderful ways, I get to remember my puppy. He was a sweet little goofball. And don't forget that even in these moments, and you think you can't manifest anything, you can't manifest the love of your life, the money to do whatever you want, your dream life's always there. Just because sometimes in the dream some things don't look like they belong in the dream, just remember you are dreaming it all forever and always, and nothing will ever leave you. Everything's always good, and there's always love. Anyway, I hope that was in line with the reality creation and you can understand. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I love it very much. And thank you for following. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking and being here with me. I appreciate you all. And for everybody who has lost someone, please know that you cannot do that. You cannot lose them forever. They're in your heart. That's why you can imagine them in any way, shape, or form, and it's real talking to you right now from there. Because that day is here, and so are you. So, have a wonderful day and take care. Bye.